1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. We're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen,
Southside Pod.
Blue Island, Beverly, Pay Listen, all sub 2. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod.
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
I went to a wedding.
Congratulations.
I didn't get married.
Oh.
I went to a wedding, and it was one of those things. I think everybody does this every once in a while.
Go to a wedding?
gets married?
Yeah.
No, where you go on a trip that you're like, I can't afford this trip. I don't know why
Was
I'm
it a
going on this trip, but I
destination
don't want to
wedding?
miss out.
Was it a destination?
It was a destination
What's
wedding.
the destination?
destination?
It was
Wheeling.
No, it wasn't Wheeling. It was my side of the family. So there
Mooresville,
was,
Indiana.
It was a good party. It was a good party. It was Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So it was on the beach.
Did you stay at the Hilton?
I stayed at
golf clubs?
an Omni Resort.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a little overpriced.
Okay.
Like I walked in, it was like having my own
Omni.
apartment.
Right.
It had a kitchen, it had a living room, it had a bedroom.
Probably a
You don't need a
dinette.
kitchen.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, is
Yeah.
what it was.
Right.
Okay, and it was the only rooms that were available if you wanted to stay where the wedding was.
Sure.
And so, of course,
They
I'm
have
like,
a block,
You can't drive.
probably.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, we have a block.
Right.
You know what happened one time? Like it was like $130 for the block, and I called and didn't say I was in the block, and I got it for $110.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
You should've.
Because they were expensive.
Right.
That was the Motel
$400
6,
a
though.
night. I didn't quite have to pull money out of my Edward Jones account with Tom Walsh, your financial advisor, 111th and Kedzie, the proud sponsor of Southside Pod, by the way. 2 out of 3 guys here at the 9-Foot Homemade Oak Bar have their money with Tom. Stop in and see him or give him a call, 773-779-0023. $400 a night. I remember telling
Off
Nice.
season?
I remember telling my mother, I was like, it's $400 a night.
Did you tell him that you
Why
were a
am I going to this?
podcaster?
And the moment
Oh, now it's $450.
I'll totally talk about your hotel on my podcast
Yeah,
if you
for
knock
trade.
off $50.
Right.
And they laughed at me.
By the way, this show's sponsored by the Omni Hotel
in Hilton
You remember
Head.
Hilton
In
Head?
Hilton Head.
Only $450 a night.
But the thing
you
was, is
mention
like,
the broadcast
it was one of those
basement.
things where like I actually had a moment of trepidation where I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I spending this much money to go away to a wedding?
Then you got to give money in the card.
I mean, the
Oh, no.
What?
No. I gave a
Cheap.
gift. I gave a gift.
What kind of gift?
I gave a gift. I spent money
Air
on the
fryer.
gift, but I gave a
Air
gift that I had to
fryer.
give. I had the gift sent to
run
them
on
is
a
what I
plane
did.
with
I gave a
them,
gift.
all wrapped.
Here's the thing. I have a standard amount of money. This is a good question for the show. I have a standard amount of money that I give at weddings.
$150 a plate.
Okay? Exactly. And sometimes I give even more than that. Okay? To be honest with you.
I mean, that's standard. That's
This is why I never bring kids
But
to weddings.
if I drop
right.
$1,500 to go to your destination
It's
wedding
expensive.
and you're from Chicago and I'm
Right.
from Chicago,
Yeah.
I'm the gift for crying out
You
loud.
are the gift.
Everything I add on after
worst
that is
gift
just a
ever.
Tie a
courtesy.
bow on it.
Right, yeah. Like I got a
Little tiny bow.
I'll tell you what I got him. I got him a nice decanter set with their new name on it.
Who
Mrs.
got you
Mr.
that
and Mrs.
previously that was
No,
sitting
it had
in your
their
attic?
last name. It wasn't my last
they
name. They have a different last
Louise
name.
by
They-
chance?
They have a different last name. They have
Oh, okay.
Tesman is their last name. So I got him
Right.
that, and then I got him some his and her pillows.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
cute little gifts. But not my standard wedding gift because it was a lot of money to go down there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's the thing. Like if they were having the wedding in Chicago, they get more in the
Absolutely.
in the card, right?
Right.
I'm not cheap for that, am I?
No.
No, okay. Because I
Even a
felt that
little
way the
bit.
entire time. Oh,
I mean,
really?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, if you drop 1,500 to 2 G's on a wedding, because I had to do airfare.
I would have just said no.
Okay,
That's the thing.
and then I'm buying booze and everything else like that.
I would have just gave him 400 in
Oh,
the card.
sorry,
and called it
the
a day.
kids, Bubba. Here's a
Yeah.
gift.
Yeah, but isn't that the other thing? If somebody invites you to a destination wedding, doesn't part of you think to yourself, they just want me to send a gift? I'm going to surprise them and show up?
You're actually right.
Now I don't
Screw
think that
them
was
people.
I don't think that was the case because I mean I like these people. They're family. We're close. I had a great time at their wedding. But isn't there that little part of you that sits there and says to yourself like they just want a gift? But I'm going to shock the crap out of them. I'm showing up, right?
Yeah,
I'm walking
absolutely.
in. You got to make room for me, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm
you
your
didn't think
gift.
I was coming, but I'm here, right?
Did you sit at the table with the wedding photographer and the
Yeah, the
caterer?
florist.
No, I had a good table.
You
So
had
I was
table 29?
in a solid table. I was at a solid table. I was important enough that when I got my table assignment, I was like, ooh, they actually wanted me.
Could you
That's
see
how I
the
kinda
dance
felt like.
floor?
Yeah, we were right there. We were right there. Beautiful
What
wedding.
was the food?
Surf and
They had
turf.
carving stations.
Whoa.
They had surf where they were carving fish. And then they had turf where they were carving meat.
Turf. They were
Turf.
carving gas.
He's carving
salad.
Then they had other stuff there. I mean, the food was great. Here, she used to work as a wedding planner's assistant.
Oh.
And so,
Fancy.
So she finally got to plan a wedding.
She got to plan her own wedding. So
Finally
everything
became
was
not the assistant.
Yeah. It was like one of those things they could have put on the Lifetime
Wait, what does she do now
Network.
if she used to?
I don't know what she does now. Oh no, she's they're both that was the thing. They're both tennis instructors
Tennis instructor.
on the north side. They were both athletes. So the entire wedding party was like 6'7". Like there were some of the tallest women you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like for a short guy
And
like
then
me
you.
who's 5'10". These are women I see in magazines.
He's
and
like
I go, I bet you I
5'8".
could date that girl. And then you see him and you realize that girl's way too tall for me.
Yeah.
Right.
I only come up to like her armpit. Like they're ginormous women walking around this thing. So there was a whole group of people that were clearly athletes. Like
I
they
mean,
have different
Chris, you look
genes
like
than
an
what
athlete.
I have.
Yes.
Like different genes than most of us
You
have.
shouldn't wear jeans to a wedding.
I thought about it though, because of how much money I spent to go there. I feel like I should be able to wear whatever I want to. And we were on a beach. It was a beach wedding. So I didn't go full suit.
I'm surprised you
I
didn't
just
get
went
married on a
sport coat.
tennis, like the tennis court.
Yeah, it would have made more sense, right?
It would have made more sense. Tennis court.
Love.
Oh.
We all start at love.
Oh, there's a missed chance right there.
Seriously.
We're both a bunch of zeros.
I guarantee.
This is why she was never a full wedding planner and always an assistant.
Oh God, I can imagine him listening to the show right now.
Congratulations, guys.
Love you both.
Sitting at home and feeling groovy. I think I wanna pop it in a movie, yeah. Don't know what I wanna watch yet. Oh no, no. Flipping through all my Blu-rays, seeing lots and lots of movies, and they all have the same actor. Yeah, he must be my most favorite actor guy. Every movie is in its left to buy. The way he moves in every scene, I just want to see him on the big screen. Danny DeVito, he is a little bald Italian short fat man. He even played the little villain in Batman. You know, a little guy from Texas, yeah, that man. Danny DeVito, a comedian that's really funny. Season 2 of It's Always Sunny. Yeah, his movies made lots of money. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. He played Schwarzenegger's twin, which was crazy, and also one where Arnold had a baby. He romanced the stone back in the 80s. Danny DeVito acted in Throw Mama from the Train. The War of Roses was so insane. He impresses me again and again and again. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. My favorite actor is Danny DeVito. Yes, he's very, very Paquito. But Rhea Perlman thought he was bonito. Then they got a divorce and were finito. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito, he's a little bald Italian short fat man. He even played the villain Penguin in Batman. You know that little guy from Texas, yeah, that man. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito.
Back on the line with me right now on Southside Pod from the Beverly Review, Tim O'Brien covering all of high school sports in the area. How are you, Tim?
I'm good, Chris. How's everything with you?
When we started the high school football playoffs, there were a lot of area teams that you cover that were in there and that actually won a few games and advanced. But in the end, right now, it's just Mount Carmel that has advanced to a state championship. Before we get into what it looks like for them this weekend, take me through this Rita Carmel game. That's a heck of a rivalry, gets a lot of attention on the Marquee Network. And after the first half, from what I saw, Rita's winning, even though I think it was only like 6-0. So what happened in that game?
It was everything you'd hope for in a matchup like that. That it's two area rivals who've been playing since 1924. Everybody grew up together, so everybody knows each other. Social media is, even connected that more, where everyone is aware of who you're playing. And it was cold. The cold impacted stuff. Neither team was clicking early. St. Rita has a kicker who's going to Alabama next year. He hit, I think, 3 field goals. He's got a leg, obviously. And then Mount Carmel just kind of grinded its way through, the cold, the wind, the easy qualities of like how good they are. And if they're clicking, watch out. And they weren't clicking, and they found a way to win. There was a couple interceptions late, a big pick six. And then, their bread and butter has been their quarterback, Blaney Dowling, who has just taken a huge step this season. I mean, he's so good in the pocket. He's showing off that arm strength, and he's got this crazy connection with another area kid, Denny Furlong, and they hit for 2 touchdowns in the second half that helped them kind of pull away. And, they've been the best team. They've been the highest ranked team all season, and they showed why. I mean, when they don't always win 35-3 like they did in week 1, they find ways to win. And that was a prime example of it, because nothing was clicking. It wasn't the prettiest game, but as Jordan Lynch, their coach, said, you just got to stay patient, and eventually it'll come through. And it did. Mount Carmel delivered in their biggest game of the year so far, and we'll see if they can do it one more time this weekend.
Tim O'Brien covering local sports for the Beverly Review, brought to you proudly this week by the law offices of Parente and Norham. If you've been injured, even at work, you need a team that will do what it takes to fight for your rights. The insurance companies only care about one thing, their bottom line. The law offices of Parente and Norham, their team has the experience, dedication, proven results it takes to get you the care and compensation you deserve. They have also recovered over $425 million for their injured clients and their loved ones. Get a free case evaluation. Southside Pod listeners, call or text them today at 312-641-5926 or visit pninjurylaw.com. As for Mount Carmel, any chance of a letdown after going through all these rivalries in the last couple of weeks in the postseason? They play Rice, they play Rita, now they're on to the state championship, and the rivalries kind of melt away, and it's just you and the other team that came from the other side of the bracket. What are their chances in this final game for a state title?
I still think they're the favorite. The traditional rivalry is obviously past, like you mentioned, with Rice and Rita the last couple of weeks, but there's some extra kind of juice, some energy with this one, because Mount Carmel beat Batavia last year in the state playoffs in the second round at Mount Carmel. And, if you talk to people, just say, hey, Mount Carmel, Batavia last year, what do you think? There were some calls both ways that were questionable at best, I thought. It didn't, I don't even know how to describe it, because I'm not an official. I just take fun photos and write the stories. There were some questionable calls, and Mount Carmel got, it was a legit call, but they got an untimed down to end the game and won on a walk-off rushing touchdown. Neither coaches, the coaching staffs are, how do you put it, friendly at best, maybe. So there's some heat there. But Jordan Lynch has just done just a great job with this group. They've handled every challenge that's been thrown at them. All the expectations, they've stepped up and risen to the occasion. So, yeah, you never know. Batavia is one of the best programs in the state over the last 10 years. They've got 2 state titles to their name, too. So it comes down to late, as cliched as it is. Can somebody just make a play on one side of the ball? Because I think it's going to be close. I don't think anybody's going to pull away from each other. They're just too good. But, yeah, traditional rivalries are in the rear view, but this is a good one. I think there's going to be some heat on this one just to get the job done.
You know what? You reminded me of it from last year. I had forgotten. I remember going through all the videos and the angles, and people were posting what they videoed at the end of that game. And there were some weird calls in that game, and the ending, it was out of a strange playbook. I'm not saying if it was right or if it was wrong, but it was one of those things that I remember was trending in the area on social media, and there were an awful lot of different camera angles of things going on in that game and at the end of it. So now you're reminding me of it. This is one of those games where you're going to have a Batavia team showing up saying it's time for revenge, and a Carmel team saying quit your yapping, we're the best and we're going to beat you. This could be one heck of a contest.
It's going to be fun. I mean, how rare was I was at that game last year, and there's last minute drives. There's a walk-off field goal to win it. I'd never been to a game that ended on an untimed down that won. I mean, it was insane to see. It was just like, okay, either we advance on this play or we don't. And it was one of the most interesting, unique high school football games I've ever been to. So, yeah, like you said, I was getting tagged left and right on social media like, hey, I was on this sideline. I saw this. There was no pass interference. Oh, he tripped himself, this and that. It went crazy in the best kind of way. So I'm really looking forward to just seeing how this develops. I know it's new teams with returning players, but that's going to stick with Batavia. They're going to want this one on top of just, hey, we want to bring home the state championship. I don't think there's any love lost between the two schools.
High drama in a state championship matchup, and then once football is over, high school basketball begins. And, look, I'm a fan of high school basketball, maybe even more than high school football. I'm the rarity. I like to sit back and watch basketball games. I think that their tournament is so interesting. On any given night, a team that isn't expected to win can pull off the upset. There's so much excitement inside of some of these gymnasiums. You get some great crowds. As you look ahead now to a season that is just starting, I know there's tournaments over Thanksgiving weekend, and then they're going to get into their schedules. In the area teams here on the south side, who stands out to you that you think is going to make some noise this year?
The big one on the south side, there's a handful of teams that, should be in that mix to win a sectional, be playing in that super sectional with a line to state, up in the air. But the big one that everybody talks about for the south side is St. Rita. They've got two kids coming back, two juniors that are some of the top-ranked recruits in the country. Merez Johnson has already committed to U of I. And James Brown is going, I think he's down to like a top 5 or 6, but they're both 6'7", 6'8". JB may be 6'10". Like, these guys are legit. And, one of the off-season storylines this year was the amount of high-level transfers from high school to high school. And St. Rita, I believe, picked up 3 of them. One from Lamont, one from HF, and a prep school in Indiana. So they have state championship aspirations without a doubt. The route won't be easy. It's a long season. I can throw any number of cliches at you, but they will be playing for a huge game in February and March. I mean, they have too much talent, and they're the team to watch locally, but there's a lot of good teams. Brother Rice returns its entire starting lineup. Mount Carmel has 3 guys back, including a kid from Beverly, DeAndre Craig, who's going to Denver next year. He's just one of the best guards in the state. He gets the job done. Brother Rice has Ahmad Henderson. He's going to Niagara, another guy to watch. It's a long season. It wears you down over those dog days once the holidays are in, but this is the fun time. These are all the cool non-conference matchups coming up, the holiday tournaments. There's always some good ones. So, yeah, if you can get out to some games, I'm looking forward to not being outside for work. The cold games get to you a little bit, but it's going to be a fun basketball season for sure.
I love how I asked you for the team that is going to make noise. You go to St. Rita, but you tied in so much of the listening area for Southside Pod because you have a kid that came from Lamont all the way to St. Rita in a transfer. You have another kid from Homewood Flossmoor that comes all the way to St. Rita. It's like you drew the map. You found a way to link all of the listening area of Southside Pod. I love it. So I guess we'll all be watching to see whether or not the Mustangs do something big here this basketball season.
It'll be an interesting one just to see. I mean, there's the Catholic League will test them, week in and week out. Those rivalry matchups extend from football to basketball. So when Mount Carmel faces off against Rita, when Rice goes to Carmel or Rita, these are fun matchups. And then you throw some other teams in that, it's never an easy night. So St. Rita is the bullseye on their back team for our area, but watch out. This is going to be a fun one just to see if anybody can kind of take them down a little bit.
Tim O'Brien's from the Beverly Review. He covers sports, and he's nice enough to jump on Southside Pod from time to time. We'll see how this all ends up for the high school football tournament and all the different championships being played this weekend, then on to basketball. Thanks so much, Tim.
Appreciate you having me on.
Southside Pod listeners, it may be time to switch to a new age of life. It's all about staying independent and in the home, whether it be mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, maybe even you. At some point in your life, you're going to need Hyatt Home medical equipment, whether it's making the home into a smart home, reducing the risk of a fall, retrofitting the bathtub, lifts going up and down the stairs. Maybe you need a CPAP machine. If you have sleep apnea, not only do they have the latest in CPAP technology, but they have testing rooms on site to get the most out of your machine. They also have the latest and greatest in diabetes control and so much more. Check out all they have to offer at hhme.com or stop in and see them in person. Get all of your questions answered. They work with your insurance and take money off if you mention Southside Pod. 3518 West 95th Street in Evergreen Park. Somebody who I think wouldn't need a chairlift. He could probably float from one level to the next level tonight is Bill over here because he's high on Red Bulls.
Oh.
We're sitting down on a Monday night and recording this show.
Monday fun day.
Normally we try to do it on a weekend so that we can all drink, but it only worked for Bill on Monday night because he's a fireman, and this is like his Saturday.
The last few times we came down, though, I didn't drink that much, but now Mike's coming down. I need some liquid courage to sing.
Not
some
only
songs.
that, but you're drinking Red Bull and vodka.
The only thing I had at the
You're
house.
in your 40s. Your heart's gonna pop any minute.
I'm on
now.
high blood pressure medication now.
Oh,
by the way.
yeah, this'll help.
That totally
This'll
will
help.
even this out. Bill.
Nothing helps blood
I
pressure
took a few
more.
extra before I came. We're good.
Nothing helps blood pressure more than staying up late, laughing your ass off at a bar, drinking Red Bulls and vodka.
Uppers and downers at the same time.
Right, yeah,
buddy.
this will go great for you.
Yeah.
I went to go get an appointment for my annual physical, and the only date that my doctor had available before the year was
Christmas
out
Eve.
was December the 28th. And I laughed on the phone at the nurse.
What's wrong with that?
And she was like, "Why?" And I'm like,
when he's at his fattest.
You know how much crap I'm going to be eating and how much drinking I'm going to be doing that week? Like, I'm going to show up as I'm going to show up as a diabetic with a failing liver in the blood test. Like, no.
My job used to make me take monthly health calls for a while. It stopped, luckily.
Monthly
but
health calls?
They used to call at random times and
you
hey,
good?
you want to do an interview? A health coach, basically.
You good?
And this was before
good, Bill?
kids, and half the time they called, I was in the bar. And I wouldn't tell them that. What am I going to hide that for? I'm drinking right now.
I'm in the bar.
Right.
How many red X's do you want on your file, Bill?
But there's HIPAA. There was no files. It was just a health
There's
coach.
files. There's files.
When you go to the doctor,
Yes.
are you honest
Absolutely.
about how many drinks you have?
Yes.
I am too.
I am.
And I get dirty looks.
They get scared.
Yeah, I get dirty looks. When
They do a little nervous laughter, and
Right.
then when I'm not laughing, they go, "Oh."
How many drinks do you have a day?
No, they say a week. They never do a day.
Oh, in a week, right. In
And
a
I
week.
would say
And I'm doing math in my head.
50?
Southside Pod Bulletin Board brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard, and Cool Clouds wants to give you an alternative. They are only going to be at their original location at 3837 West 95th Street this weekend, and then after that, look for them at 95th and Kedzie with the full taster bar and the great CBD products. Learn more at coolcloudsvapor.com. Last weekend, you heard our guests talk about two events going on in Tinley Park at Sound Growler Brewing on Saturday and Hailstorm Brewing on Sunday. On Saturday at Sound Growler, it's cosplay and comics and, of course, some beer. Kicks off at noon, goes till 5 p.m. That entire fair is at 8201 183rd Street, Suite P in Tinley Park. Heck, you might even see Southside Pod out there, and so many vendors. Come on out, have a great time. The next day on Sunday at Hailstorm Brewing, 8060 186th Street in Tinley Park, there is going to be the Flurry of Makers Holiday Market at Hailstorm Brewing Company. All kinds of crafts and artists, plus food and beer, should be a great way to kick off the season. If you want more information, check out Bead Streets, B-E-A-D, Streets with a Z. It's a Facebook page. They have all the information, or check out what's going on at Hailstorm Brewing's website or Sound Growlers. Friday night, 9 p.m., Mark Taylor's at Riley's Daughter. If you're looking for some music, 4010 West 111th Street. On Saturday, there's all kinds of fun stuff for small businesses. Lamont is having, of course, their downtown ornament walk going on from 4 to 7 p.m. If you don't have tickets for that, you can probably still get out there and enjoy the sights and the sounds. Also on Saturday in Blue Island, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m., the Small Business Saturday Craft and Vendor Fair at the New Lyric Theater. And also, don't forget, December 2nd and 3rd next weekend, Friday and Saturday, the Kris Kringle Market in Palos Heights, 12217 South Harlem Avenue. You enter at the Harlem side of the tent there. Opening ceremonies at 5 p.m. on Friday night. It goes 5 to 9 on Friday, noon to 7 on Saturday. It's a 2-day market with 70 vendors, maybe more. Outdoor heated tent, local food vendors, Santa's going to be there, a kids corner, so much more. Get more information at palosheights.org. If you have something for the bulletin board, reach out to us. It's very easy. Voicemail or written message right there at southsidepod.com. Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. Thanksgiving, are you having it? Are you going someplace? What do you do on Thanksgiving?
Last year we just did our own thing because we're like, screw everybody. Let's just do a family thing.
Do you make the turkey?
We bought one of those Popeyes turkeys.
Hell yeah.
They were like Popeyes flavored turkeys.
Chicken turkey.
Is it like breaded like Popeyes?
Turkey.
It's like got
Did
their
you get
flavoring
Cajun
in it.
or regular?
The Cajun.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it was fantastic.
But does it
come to
have
your
like the
house?
breading and stuff that's on top of like a Popeyes piece of chicken? Or what is it?
No. It's just Cajun flavored.
Okay.
But it's sold from Popeyes. Like
Popeye spices.
You ever
on
go
the
to
turkey.
Popeyes through the drive-thru?
Yes, I've been to a Popeyes.
They like talk to you like you're in the South.
Yeah.
Like I said, do you have one of those turkeys? They're like, absolutely, sugar.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they do.
why? I'm like, I'm on
They
the
do.
South side.
They do.
Where the,
Yeah.
you know,
That's South.
pull around.
All right.
Like,
Have you ever
go.
cooked a turkey?
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
you've done this before.
This was the only time we did it at home, like ourselves. But usually we go to her mom's.
Okay.
We're not a big Thanksgiving.
But I mean, do
on my
you
side.
ever cook a turkey? Or you go into somebody's house?
Just once, not this year.
Just once.
Just
So
one
you've
time.
cooked one before.
One time.
And do you ever cook your own turkey? Or do you go to somebody else's?
Every year we host and we cook
You
it.
host.
And we brine the turkeys.
What's this
brine
weed stuff?
them.
You know your wife does all of
So
this.
Bethany and your mom do all the work.
Yeah, you don't do
watch them.
anything.
I hold the beer while
hold
they're brining.
Watch football.
Watch football. But the brining, it's like it's like a whole process. You put all these spices and stuff. And
So are you smoking it then? 'Cause
No,
you brine
it's,
it or no?
the brine's like you put it in a bucket with,
He doesn't
with
know.
water and all these
No
spices.
idea.
None.
It's the South Side! It's the South Side! It's Southside Pod! Thanks for listening! Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod! Y'all come back now, you hear?
Against my better judgment now, we're going to go back into the archives because Adam Sandler has his Thanksgiving song, and so does the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network when Bill created it way back before we thought we were going to become what we are today. SidSauce.net brings it to you. Peppers grown on the south side, delicious hot sauces created, delivered to pretty much all of the listening area here on Southside Pod. Go where I get all my hot sauces, SidSauce.net. I guarantee your turkey will be better than this one.
Tables all set, the candles are lit, the whole family is there. It's time for Thanksgiving, the smell of autumn is in the air. Mama's in the kitchen, and the kids are playing in the back. Dad and Grandpa are watching football, rooting for the quarterback. The doorbell rings and Grandma comes in, holding her pumpkin pie. The home team scores a touchdown, and we let out a collective sigh. We all sit down at the table, all my family and all my friends. But there's just one little old thing that I didn't tell them. I had sex with the turkey, but I said please pass the beans. I couldn't tell them what I had did, so I didn't intervene. I had sex with the turkey, no, I couldn't help myself when I saw that juicy golden bird sitting there on the kitchen shelf. We sat there for a little while, then we said our grace. I wondered if my actions would affect the turkey's taste. But the whole family, they grabbed their plates, started to dig in. I just couldn't get myself to tell them what I had did. I tried to get up the courage, then I saw my aunt take a bite. She asked me if I wanted some. I said, no thank you, that's all right. She said it tasted a little different. She said, I wonder what that could be. Boy, oh boy, if she only knew that the secret ingredient was me. I had sex with the turkey, but I said, please pass the beans. I did it last night after they went to bed. Don't worry, my hands were clean. I had sex with the turkey, yeah, I stuffed it all by myself when I saw that juicy golden bird sitting there on the kitchen shelf. Now everyone was finishing up the delicious Thanksgiving meal. I smelled the coffee warming up and how bad I began to feel. I stood up at the table, said I got something to say. I'm sorry that I did this, and I hope that it's okay. I said last night I got the urge to do something real bad. I had my way with the turkey, and I hope that you're not mad. My Uncle Jim just stood up, dropped his spoon back in his bowl, and said that's all right, because before I came, I made love to the casserole. I had sex with the turkey on the Thanksgiving day. I didn't know how to tell them, but I guess it turned out okay. I had sex with the turkey. I'm not even sorry. It felt so good, felt so good. I stuck myself inside a butterball. Do I feel bad? Not at all. By the way, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.